Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21 Career Mode, episode 65. We're at the Giro d'Italia. This is part number 2 of the Giro, and on stage, it's stage number 8? Yes, 8 of 21. Just a punchy one here, but the pace has been pretty hot. The Category 2 back at the beginning was insane tempo. Totally split the field up, but it came back together shortly after the top. But it never quite lifted, and as a result, our domestiques on the day are fading already, and we're not even anywhere near the only categorized climb of the back half of the stage. Gonzalez Albiol on the verge of getting dropped, Peloton already shrinking. The breakaway that had a 4 or 5 minute gap has already been reeled in, and again, nowhere before we actually get to the climb on the day. So Gonzalez Albiol fading, Maida fading, Igashin just hanging on for now. Let's go ahead and reassign him to Karaman. Ryabovis, go ahead and take Berlikov. And let's also step up your speed just a little bit so we don't fade. Okay, Martin Guerrero, a little bit more. Not very good on his own, and I think we'll kind of watch Martin Guerrero for a bit. Help him navigate when a rider is going back. We don't want him to go back as well. We want him to avoid those kind of guys. Igashin going forward, so why don't you follow him through. Okay, and we just saw a big split now. Just 57 riders left. Let's go and set Rivera to Otto. Yeah, a lot of guys here at the back. I could see this getting down to 40, 50 riders here pretty dang soon, but the pace right now is not in the Peloton the way it was. We got a few riders coming forward, but they're totally exhausted. For a punchy Cat 2, this stage is going to take its toll. It really is. I did not expect there to be some sort of outcome, and I can see the lift right now allowing some recovery, but yeah, this is surprising. Maida, I don't know if you're going to have enough, but let's see if we can get water one final time on this one. He certainly has recovered a bit. Oh, gosh, the others have come back as well. Gonzalez Albiol had just regained contact. Now it's 166. And a lot of recovery in for those top guys.
Uh-oh, the pack is quick in the pace.
Maida, that took quite a bit out of him, but we have this downhill right through here. He might still be of use to us. He got water to the guys that it doesn't matter on. Can he get water to the guys that it does matter with? He is so close, but he's about to level off and go uphill. We need him very, very soon to come through and finish this job. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. He gets everybody but Martin Guerrero, I think.
Peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
Here's how we do this. Martin Guerrero, slow down. Get behind him. There you go. You got your water. And then restore. You go back to him instead of the other way around. All right, 160 in the Peloton, and our 3 guys have recovered. Ryabovis also in good shape now. Igashin and Rivera ready to lead them out. Let's see what can we do with this one. Martin Guerrero still missing somebody. Maida is right there. Ish. Okay, I want you to come forward. And Gonzalez Albiol, try to follow. Actually, do it the other way around. Rivera, follow Gonzalez Albiol. You've got nothing left in the tank. Rivera's got a little bit. Let's try to go a little harder than that, because that was backwards, not forwards. Yeah, that really didn't help, did it? Okay, back to Otto for you. A little uphill swing didn't do anything. I don't think Rivera's going to be of help to us. Let's go ahead and gel up for him. Let's gel up for Igashin. And we're approaching the base, and Rivera's too far back, and not enough energy anyway. So, 5-man group. 13.5K. How far is that from the finish? 224, 229, 5K. So 8.5 kilometer climb, 7%. This can do some damage. Why don't we make sure it does? Now, Igashin is somebody that we want that hills rating. At an 85, we're not using it. We're using a mountain rating of 68. So he is going to have to push a little bit harder.
They're moving along at a fair lick.
And here comes an acceleration. So he is going to begin that push. 90, this is going to mix. That gives him a low 70s now rating. 90 is halfway in between. Ryabovas is going to take over. And we're seeing a little attack. Ryabovas will take over and respond to it.
Off he goes. He's giving it one last go.
He's a 78-78. That's McNulty. That's Ciccone. Out of way, Vingegaard.
Only 10 kilometers left. Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace.
And now we can respond to it. This thing is steep. 4.5K to go to the top of the climb. Martin Guerrero a little bit off the wheel. He's going to have to chase. He's got the space to finally do so. Had the space to do so. Try to come on through. This is technically 30 seconds, but Ryabovas is bringing it back well. Laurent is cheating and following Ryabovas, and we are kind of stuck. He is struggling. Well, actually, they're all struggling a little bit, aren't they? Ryabovas is just about done. I'm going to have Martin Guerrero follow Karaman. Karaman, you're going to go. Again, we're trying to save Martin Guerrero to still be in this thing, so better to follow than forced to lead. We're down to 20. Still chasing those 4. And it's back together. 1.6K to go to the top. I would attack, however, the finish isn't at the top. This is not the kind of stage where you can finish. This is the kind of stage where you can get it down to 16 riders. And Martin Guerrero is going to get dropped. He's going to lose some time. He's just not a strong enough climber. Berlikov, gel.
5 kilometers
And we
to
go
the
over the
finish
top
line.
with just 7 left. Okay, let's relay. Keep those gaps behind opening. Meanwhile, you guys ride your pace so we don't lose more time than we need to. Igashin dropped a long time ago. Poor guy. Alright, 2 riders, 3K. Karaman, follow. Berlikov, please. Berlikov, you could take over. Willing to put a little bit of work in here. We will try to attack the finish line. With us, Carapaz, Vingegaard, Ciccone, Sivkov, De Plus. Accelerate, but don't sprint yet. Those guys are going too soon. Now, 1K to go. Now you can sprint. Can you recover for a top 3? It's going to open that gap. Karaman, you sprint.
And it's a superb sprint.
He's out of energy. Those guys were just a little bit better, but we're with them, hopefully same time. Vingegaard, Ciccone, Sivakov, Carapaz, Berlikov, top 5. De Plus loses a little bit of time, so Sivakov could take over as the leader there. Karaman loses just a little bit of time. It's a good result. Really surprising how this stage ended up transpiring. Did not expect it to be quite this decisive. No time gaps for the top 7, so De Plus and Karaman both luck out on that one. Maybe Berlikov too. He might have been a few seconds behind. Minute 15 to a chase group, minute 50 to Martin Guerrero's group. So those guys losing a pretty significant chunk of time. You could almost now rule out Martin Guerrero as leader. Didn't expect him to be anyway. The time trialing part, though, would have been nice. Karaman, though, just below him. If he ends up with a significant time gap, then it's kind of obvious that things could still work out in a specific way. So, De Plus now leads, taking over from teammate Filippo Ganna, who has slipped to 4th place. He was in that second group. He did not lose that much time, surprisingly. Sivakov right there with him still. Would have gained time today, but De Plus lucked out, got same time. Carapaz still looking comfortable, looking like the primary contender at this point, trying to move himself up. But Karaman and Berlikov still in touching distance, minute 20, minute 40. Madaway is still just about there as well, though he has slipped a little bit. Vingegaard performed well in that one. And we're definitely starting to see your top 15, 16 are pretty good climbers. Skjelmos, young 24-year-old climber with an 81 mountain rating. And we are just inside the final 12 kilometers on stage number 10. It's a short, punchy finish. It's not too hard of a stage. You got to go pretty hard, and we are going to start that process now. We emerge at the front with 10K to go. Rivera didn't have a lot of energy left. Maida was already dropped. It's been a hefty pace, despite being a relatively easy day. Igashin is going to take over now. We'll push 85 for a little bit. We're going to get Gonzalez Albiol ready for the climb. We're going to get Riabovis ready for the climb here in just a moment, as we're about to turn onto this thing. Okay, Igashin's going to turn, and he's going to go almost full gas. He's got enough hill speed that he would do a lot of damage to his teammates, but this is going to make it to where almost nobody can get up beside us. And you can see for the back end, Berlikov, Karaman, they're not feeling it as much, and we're already down inside 6K. So what I want to do now is Gonzalez Albiol is going to take over, and Igashin, I want him to drop to the back. So get him out of the way over to the left-hand side, and here we see the first push. But Berlikov right now only has 2 riders who are up ahead of him as we approach the end on this one. So let's gel up for Martin Guerrero. Riabovis will take over momentarily. Let's let Gonzalez Albiol go on a little bit longer. Okay, 4.5K. Now we respond. Tiller has pushed through, and we just split the field in half with 70 now. And you see Riabovis has already recovered that gap. For a moment, he brought it down to 22. Gets a little easier here for a bit, but then it's going to get really steep right at the finish. Final 2.5K. Gel up for these last 2 guys. And we continue on with Riabovis. 19 riders. He has split the field. Riabovis setting up Martin Guerrero and Karaman. Keep him going just a hair longer. Now 1.6 on to Martin Guerrero. Riabovis, just go your pace to the finish. Up 1.1. This is that steep section though, so Martin Guerrero sprint. Okay, Karaman sprint. 700 meters. You can see how we're now emerging into a potential top 3. Karaman's going to hang on to... Oh, he's going to slip to 3rd right at the finish. Ciccone, Carapaz, Karaman, Berlikov. They have a gap. They have a gap here. A sizable gap. They better give it. 16 or 17 seconds. That should be given. And just 12 chasers, so 16 riders. Karaman gains 4 seconds at the very least. And those front 4 should all gain a little bit of time. And they do. 15-second gap. 15-second gap for that group. And then after 16th, you have another gap given. So that's going to shake things up a little bit after 10 stages, roughly halfway through the race. De Plus leads ahead of Carapaz, ahead of Karaman now at just a minute behind. Sivikov has slipped back from 2nd to 4th at 1:21. Berlikov just 5 seconds off his pace. Ghana, Ciccone, Vingegaard, Mataway. Martin Guerrero back into the top 10 at 3:17 down overall. McNulty, Uran all lost time on that stage. And gaps have really opened. I mean, we're looking at 6 minutes down to Jack Haig. So, surprising because I didn't think this race would really start to open up until stage 14. But bit by bit, couple seconds here, dozen seconds there, it is opening, and we're in a strong position with 2 guys in the top 5 and not leading is a good place to be. Ineos forced to do the work. And we're on stage 12. I went conservative here early on, and my guys have kind of slipped down the order a little bit, so we've got to speed it up to get them back in position as we enter the hardest climb of the day, a Category 2, and then we have 2 Category 3s on our way towards the finish. The breakaway had 12 riders. It's down to 6 left at the front, plus a group that's nearly been caught in between and another group that was already caught. And my leaders are good. My domestiques, my support riders for the day, they've struggled up to this point. This has been a high tempo set by Ineos throughout this thing. And Ineos has already burned through at least 3 riders and are working on that 4th one right now. So they are starting to run a little thin. And speaking of a little thin, the Peloton is getting a little thin with just 75 remaining in the group. Maida has gone out the back. Rivera has gone out the back, and now it's down to 63. Also, there's a little acceleration happening right now, and we need to make sure Igashin's about to go out, but Gonzalez Albia, he needs to speed up. Almost to the top, so these guys will be okay. Down to 60. That little acceleration was necessary as Gonzalez Albiol nearly lost contact, and he's still going in 86 and not gaining the ground he needs. That's how high the tempo has been throughout this stage here. 55k to go. We need water. Gonzalez Albiol, you're the furthest one back. Go ahead and get it.
We're starting the last third of the race.
Come on.
The breakaway is not to
Ease your way forward. You've got a descent to take care of this, but he is burning a lot of energy to try to come forward, even though he's on a downhill trajectory. He's struggling to get through. We'll have a bit of a valley here, but he's not getting that recovery he needs as a result. But in struggling to get through, he's actually getting some recovery, and just not as much as I would like. He should have been back towards full strength. Water-wise, we'll be good to go till the end. But as a team, I only have 5 guys left, and one of them kind of tired. Can he finally get forward? Ineos, again, burning through another rider. So this is really good for our chances of trying to overtake them. Gonzalez Albiol still has not finished the water task. Still. There, finally. Okay. Let's reassess what we have. Later, Berlikov, -2. Martin Guerrero is 10th. Ryabovas, go ahead and protect Karaman. And let's make sure these guys stay in place. With an 84 as we start the climb. 63, chasing 3. Last 3 riders, and Ineos is still pushing like crazy. Okay, Gonzalez Albiol, go ahead and gel up. That's not what's going to happen if I click this. There we go. 84, not cutting it. Okay, fine. Let's go 86. Cannot afford to get dropped. Can't afford to slip back too much. Though the action is going to be on the final climb, not this one. But you could absolutely lose it on this one, as many have. I mean, we're already down to 58 riders. Ineos, down to their last, so the tempo has lifted. Gonzalez Albiol is tired, but Ryabovas... No, okay. Chenietz is... gave a little acceleration. I could probably really split this field with Ryabovas if I wanted to. I want to, so let's do it. I see fatigue. I want to take advantage. Alright, Guerrero struggling to get in position though. And we're down to 46. Gonzalez Albiol still has not been dropped, so there's the split. Down to 34. A lot of leaders are suddenly going to be isolated. 34 chasing 3. Ryabovas. Okay, go slow enough to get a little recovery in. So by the way, that issue I'm having with my computer, the little bit of lag, it's related to my GPU, and I've turned settings down, and I've had games that have incredibly low requirements that you could run on on a pretty poor computer. I think what's happening is I think my GPU is trying to die on me, even though it's only exactly 1 year old, and it was what, $900 just for the GPU. It's already the second one, as the first one lasted a month and got replaced because it died. I have a feeling maybe it's just a bad model, and that is what we're dealing with. Rebobus, we're going to speed up a little bit. Okay, we've got our 3 guys trailing, and he's going to start his climb. So Martin Guerrero, we're going to set up. And Rebobus, he's a 75-75, so we really could push a little bit more and see what we could do here. But he's at full strength. It's just 12.5K to the finish. We might as well make it hard and try to thin this field even further. I just don't know what kind of separation you could get.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
Okay, we're going to have Martin Guerrero follow. Is he going to follow? Is he going to follow, though? He's not following. In which case, here's the change. Wow. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? Martin Guerrero, just go 99. I mean, look at Rebobus. He's still riding ahead of you at an 88 effort. Down to 33. Now Hindley trying to go clear. 1.2K to the top. I think we got to just leave Martin Guerrero here behind. Karaman push. You get a 79 hills rating. Pull this thing back. I don't know why Martin Guerrero is just not getting the job done. $30 in the group. We're chasing 4. There's 3 of them just in front of me, but Karaman is going to have to push really hard. And we're going to have to gel up with Burlikov. And the way the game is being weird and lagging doesn't fit the profile of the GPU, but that's the only thing that I found. Well, anyway, Martin Guerrero has already recovered. Karaman's got a 75 downhill. Burlikov's got a 75 downhill. Martin Guerrero is off the back a little bit. We have opened it up with 3K to go. Burlikov and Karaman. Martin Guerrero, why don't you sit up? And follow Ghana. Okay, 1 rider has been dropped. That's Nealon's. 1.4K. That's a sprint. And that's a sprint. And we're not going to catch those 2. Duel has taken the stage. Ciccone and Hindley have gained time. Burlikov is in a 4th, 5th situation with Nizzolo. Wow, Nizzolo here. Vingegaard, still good result. But yeah, there's a few seconds that were gained there by a couple guys who attacked late in that climb and then stayed away. And we were going 99 downhill and couldn't catch them. They got that flat section with about 4K, and only 1 of those riders couldn't make it through the 4 kilometers. There's no recovery on the descent, so you had to have a little something left in the tank. I was surprised that this was a stage where that was able to happen, to take place, but it did. And we're approaching the decisive part of this race, though, with a handful of contenders very much in this thing. Same time for the front 3. Hindley and Ciccone got up to Duel. They were about 25 seconds behind him, just in front of us. How did they get same time? Thanks, game. Game just glitched out big time for that one to happen. Not a big deal, other than Ciccone is suddenly 1 second behind Karaman, and he shouldn't have gotten those 20 seconds. He should be right there with Burlikov. But anyway, we are still 3rd, 6th, 10th. We're in very great shape right now, beyond the halfway point. And the first big, decisive mountain stage is coming on stage 14. That's going to do it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.